Good morning, Standard 8 students. Now, once again, I'll just explain to the text a cry against exploitation. Like I told you, the meaning of crying here means somebody to raise his voice against the wrong things that are taking place in the country. So, a cry also means a fight against exploitation. Now, this story is actually a biography of Kailash Satyarthi. Okay, I'll just explain the first part again because that is his main fight. So you have to understand the introduction very well. Okay. Now we take it. While childhood is synonymous with playful pranks for many of us, now we are very fortunate that we had a regular childhood experience. Okay, means we went to a regular school, we played, we did mischief, and we enjoyed our childhood days. All of us, when we were little or small, we did enjoy our childhood days. There are just as many for whom childhood is an indelible scar they carry with them for the rest of their lives. This is the most important part of the story. Now, for some children, they did not get the opportunity to enjoy their childhood days. Their childhood went on working in hotels, homes, factories, in the fields. They were deprived of their childhood days. So it is a big regret. It is a kind of a wound that has remained with them or will remain with them throughout their lives, like an indelible scar. A scar is a mark remained on skins after a wound is healed or partly healed. Some scars cannot be erased. So it has been compared to that part where these children's childhood days was so miserable. Living a life of poverty, they had to do all sorts of jobs which deprived them of their happiness. So their childhood days was a sad and troubled one. So Kailash Sharma later on becomes Kailash Satyarthi. He was the one, while he was growing up, he saw many children were being deprived of going to a regular school. And his main fight in this story against exploitation means his main fight is first, he wanted to abandon child labor. He wanted that all the children should go to a regular school and not work in hotels or at home or in industries. He wanted that they should also enjoy their childhood days like any other fortunate children. And then he also saw the discrimination between caste, religion, sex, color, creed, race, against all that. So in this story, we see how he was affected with this and how he had made or took the initiative of fighting against these exploitations. Okay. So yesterday also I introduced this and we were right up to let us read the story of a man who believed that freedom is non-negotiable. Now, non-negotiable means something which cannot be changed and is on a Herculean mission to help children in need. Hercules, the word comes actually from Hercules, the god of strength. So, it is a big challenge for Kailash to fight against this exploitation. So he says this task needing a lot of strength and determination. So he set up on a mission. He wanted to accomplish or he wanted to deal or to solve a very great problem which not only existed in India but in fact for these unfortunate children all over the world. Kailash Satyarthi was born as Kailash Sharma on 11th January in the year 1954 in Vidisha, a small town in Madhya Pradesh. So now we are learning the life of Kailash Satyarthi. So it is called a biography of Kailash Satyarthi. When we talk about an individual, talk about the history of an individual, then it is called a biography. And when you write about your own self, then it is called an autobiography. Okay. His father was a police constable and his mother, though uneducated, was a very idealistic and helpful lady. Idealistic means a person who seeks for perfection. Though she was illiterate, but she was carrying out her household chores, her responsibilities, understanding the husband's job, how to take care of children in a proper manner. Who made a huge impression on the mind of young Kailash. Like he used to see how his mother would handle them or handle the life in this family. He was brought up in a neighborhood where Hindus and Muslims coexisted peacefully. So he was staying in a neighborhood where the Hindus and the Muslims lived peacefully. There were no animosity or there was no enmity between the Hindus and the Muslims. They were very united and peace-loving people. At a very young age, Kailash learned Urdu from a Maulvi at a nearby mosque even before he learned English and Hindi. So that means you could make out, or we come to know how close he was with the Muslims. At an impressionable age, Kailash noticed discrimination in society and was deeply upset. So while he was growing up, he noticed this discrimination in the society. During his early child or school days, he would notice a young child the son of a cobbler, waiting outside the school, watching school children walk by. This made Kailash question why the child was not studying in the school. He set out looking for an answer. His first encounter was with the schoolmaster, who told him that children of poor people were born to work because they couldn't afford an education. The inequality rattled young Kailash, and he posed the same question to his principal. Also their family acquaintance, his parents, even to the cobbler, but got the same response. The thought of lost childhood and inequality left a lasting impression on the young mind, which sowed the seeds of the Bachpan Bachao Andolan. Now, while he was growing up, he used to go to a school, and then he noticed a poor boy, a cobbler's son, would always stand outside the school gate and watch all the children going to school. Now that child also had a desire, because he would see how the children would go and enjoy themselves in school and all that. So he was disturbed that why this little child was not studying or was not going to the school. So he asked the schoolmaster, why isn't that boy, cobbler's son, not attending school? Then the schoolmaster mentioned that he is a poor boy and they are meant to work to survive. They cannot pay or they cannot afford to pay for their education. Whatever work they do, that is for their livelihood. Otherwise, they'll have to go to sleep without consuming any food. But that did not quieten or did not satisfy Kailash Sharma. So he asked the principal of the school. Then he asked his family friends. Even he asked the cobbler. And all of them responded with the same answer, that he is too poor, he is born to work, and he has to work to survive, and he cannot afford to pay for an education. So that troubled Kailash. He was very upset about the way the elderly people were treating children on the basis of their status. Now, a poor boy has got no rights to education, and he is forced to do work. So Kailash felt, instead of this boy going to work, he should be attending a regular school. So what he did was, he sowed the seeds of the Bachpan Bachao Andolan. Okay. Kailash took his first step in this direction by collecting school books from his friends and acquaintances after the annual examination, and then distributing them to young children who wanted to study but could not afford buying those books. Now, this part of the story, I would request you. Now, you are basically from a well-to-do family, all right, and you should do your own part. Your own books. keep it aside. Your old clothes, which is of no use to you, which is in good condition, keep it aside for the poor people. Don't just throw it away or burn it on 31st December to celebrate the coming of the New Year. Do a little good. Thank God that you have been fortunate to get all whatever you desire or deserve. Think about those unfortunate and misfortunate children who are living a life of poverty, may not be having proper clothes to wear during the winters, can't afford books to study. Give them a helping hand. Do good for the people who are badly in need. Okay, I shall continue. I will be giving you the meanings of the first page. I don't want to make this holiday troublesome. So part by part I will be giving you. So please learn. Okay, thank you.